Hello, and welcome to another edition of the number one football, soccer, and pro wrestling podcast in the world.
Kick, pass, punch. I'm Malcolm.
And I'm Brian, his dad. And we are here to talk about the ongoing worlds of professional wrestling, professional soccer, and professional football. Breaking news. Trinity Rodman, back with the U.S. women's national team, scores a goal in the 5th minute. First game since the U.S. won the gold medal in the Olympic final. How do you feel about Trinity Rodman being back?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really watch a whole lot of U.S. women's national team soccer.
Not a big fan of winners?
No.
That's a shame.
Not a big fan of winners.
Also,
not a big fan of winners here in Chicago.
She has pink hair, which is fantastic right now. She looks great. So what is on our agenda for today?
Well, first, in more breaking news, we're on Spotify.
We're on Spotify.
Yes. So now if you don't want to watch a 40-minute video, you can go listen to a 40-minute podcast on your phone.
This face is too much. You clearly, this one, good. If you don't want to look at this face for 40 minutes, you can just put us in your ear holes.
Okay. Moving on from that.
Same name on Spotify?
Same name on Spotify.
All right.
So, starting off with some wrestling, because it's been a while. There's a lot. I think we've got to first start with Kevin Owens.
So, WrestleMania is 2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today.
Okay.
I believe
that's correct. 2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today.
All right. Where are we?
Kevin Owens
Ugh.
is hurt.
Out of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Interestingly, he released a statement today, or gave an interview on another podcast today. He was upset that it was leaked before the show last night that he was hurt and was going to miss WrestleMania. So he wanted to explain exactly why before there were rumors going around. Had an MRI in his neck in December, was fine. Would not specify which match, had a match in January that did not go well. Something happened during it, and he started to experience some stuff and thought he could work through it. Had another MRI recently, and he was told he could not.
If you have neck pain, you should not go out and have that Royal Rumble match and that Chamber match.
Correct.
He just put on 2 crazy matches.
Yes, think about, whatever condition he's currently experiencing is apparently predates the latter spot at the end of the Elimination Chamber match, or the Royal Rumble match with Cody, which is nuts. But interestingly...
Which one? There was a lot.
The closing spot.
The Alabama Slam.
The Alabama Slam on the ladder. Where he ended up doing
that's honestly what I thought it was that.
No, it appears he thinks it was something before that, specifically. And without
specifying.
I'm not casting aspersions on anyone by any stretch of the imagination, but he actually only had 2 matches in January.
And those were, I was gonna say, what matches did he even have in January?
Ray and Jay on back-to-back Smackdowns.
But he didn't really
no house show matches.
He didn't do anything crazy against either of those 2 guys, did he?
He said it wasn't a crazy spot. He was like, there were just a couple of things that happened in one of those matches. There were 2 specific moments in one of those matches where something felt off, and he's been dealing with this since. And because he had the MRI in December, he knows it happened after that. So, Godspeed Kevin Owens. We hope that he comes back at full strength and is fine.
We hope he comes back for one.
So,
He doesn't even need to be at full strength. He just needs to be back.
well, let's just hope he's fine.
Right.
I mean, neck injuries can be a thing that you deal with forever, and let's hope that it's not. Let's hope whatever surgeries he's going to have is going to resolve the issue,
And he'll be back.
and that he can live a long and happy and productive life. And if we are so lucky, we get to see him again in a wrestling ring.
Well, I know if we don't ever see him again in a wrestling ring, you will not be happy that we did not go to SmackDown last night in Chicago.
Well, that was just that would have just made me sad though. I don't want to see that.
You want to see his last ever time in the ring?
It won't be his last ever time in the ring, even if ultimately it's decided he can't wrestle again.
Well, yeah, he'll go into
He's gonna do something. He'll become Paul Heyman. He's too good a talker, right?
Yeah.
So that leads to the inevitable question, though, not to diminish the issue with Mr. Owens, but Malcolm, giving you the pencil. What do you do with Randy Orton from WrestleMania?
Oh my god. So I've said this yesterday. Not on the podcast, obviously, but I said kind of as a joke, but now it seems like now I might fully want this to happen. I don't think it will. I think it wouldn't be the right thing to do, but throw him into the Cody Cena match. Because then it's a triple threat. Then you can have people interfere. And it's legal. I mean, it's all legal because The Rock could just come out and be like, I'll fire you if you disqualify him.
Right.
Or The Rock could just be the referee.
I think that might be more likely. That The Rock is just the referee.
The Rock got mentioned.
He did after 2 weeks.
Oh my god. Long enough.
But not in any way in relation to why.
Yeah,
No explanation from John as to why.
Well, we did get an explanation from John as to why he actually turned heel.
But not in relation.
Not in
what it
relation
had
to
do
The
with
Rock.
The Rock.
But we did get a reason.
So I think if you're going to go kind of that route, I think I would tie him up into the Seth Roman Punk of it all.
Make it a fatal four.
Make it a fatal four. Just throw him into that.
I mean,
because that's the level that he's at.
Yeah, but all three of them hate each other so much, and none of them really have beef with Randy.
Right. Which is an interesting position, right? You have these three who absolutely... Oh. Brazil just scored.
They missed.
No, offside?
No, they just missed. Just didn't go in.
Oh, it's outside. Okay. Sorry. But it'd be interesting, like, if you have this one person in the match, like, these three hate each other vehemently, then you have this one guy who's just like, I'm just trying to win a match. I'm just trying to win a match.
I'm just here to
But
win.
also, you can lean into the Kevin pushed him over the edge. He's already said he's hearing the voices in his head again, right? So, like...
Well, then he RKO'd Nick Aldis.
Yeah.
But that's another fine.
I mean, they're not going to... Nick Aldis and Randy Orton is not going to be the match.
Oh, wait. Randy Orton already paid for the next time he RKO'd Nick Aldis.
So maybe next week there's some sort of, like, segment again with Roman and Punk and Seth, and Randy just comes out of nowhere and just destroys all of them. I don't know. I just don't... I'm not sure what else to do with him.
Well, for one, we're not going to get those three on SmackDown again. Until if any of them get drafted on SmackDown. None of those guys are SmackDown guys. Punk was on SmackDown last week in London because
London.
London.
And this week
And
because
this
Chicago.
week because Chicago. And they wanted to get it all in because Chicago.
All right, fair point.
I don't think any of them will be on SmackDown again. So
Right.
I don't think.
But still, Raw. Then you do it on Raw. You do it on Raw this Monday. You can do the same thing.
Honestly, throw him into the Gunther Jay match. You overshadow Jay for sure there, though.
Yeah.
Anything you do, you overshadow. Like, oh my god. I guess throw him into an Intercontinental champ. Ooh. Braun Breaker, Penta, and Randy Orton would cook.
What if Randy Orton comes out next Monday and is like, I
quit.
I destroyed Kevin Owens in these beatdowns that we've had of each other over the last several weeks to the point that he can't compete. And you just take the logical step and you have Sammy come back and attack Randy. He's still Kevin's best friend, even if they have to fight each other from time to time. He's still Kevin's best friend, and you just pivot to Randy, Sammy.
Yeah, I mean,
where Sammy is fighting for Kevin, and then you have the built-in thing when Kevin comes back of I didn't ask you to do that.
I did not tell you to do that.
You don't speak for me, right?
We're still not friends.
So that's.
Yeah.
That would be one way to go.
Or you could just make them team up and put them in the multi-man.
I mean, you can't not have Randy on the show.
No.
You can't.
No way.
And you've got 2 more Raws and SmackDowns if you need them to build it, whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly. You
could
make a whole new match.
You got time.
You could do. What could they do? I mean, I guess obviously you could just throw him into the the Intercontinental match, but that's also on Raw. Who has the US title? LA Knight. And
you could 100% pivot and just bring back one of the people they've just signed they haven't put on TV yet, and either Malachi Black or Rusev comes out of nowhere and attacks Randy Orton on Monday night.
Or we could do Randy Orton versus mystery opponent of Hunter's choosing.
Yeah. Well, it would be Adam's choosing. Adam Pearce runs Raw.
It'd be Nick Aldis' choice.
Nick Aldis runs Raw.
Nick Aldis runs SmackDown. Randy's on SmackDown.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Sammy's also on Raw. So.
But it's WrestleMania. We can do whatever we want.
It also doesn't matter.
But it would be interesting, right? They're right now, as my understanding is, the idea is they're going to bring Aleister Black back the SmackDown after WrestleMania. So why not move it up?
Yeah.
I mean, he's allowed to work. He's clear to work. Rusev's clear to work. He signed a contract. So I mean, either one of them.
Yeah.
Just comes out of nowhere, or where they do what they did with Cody 3 years ago, and Randy just says, I don't care who it is, I'm having a match at WrestleMania, I will walk out there and I will do an open challenge and anybody can answer it.
Ric Flair!
Ric Flair's going to get involved in the Cena match. Okay, so
Cena code.
Also, I see on the list here, we have, last night, we had big, meaty men slapping meat. Braun Strowman, Jacob Fatu, in a last man standing match, won by Jacob Fatu, making him the #1 contender to the U.S. Championship.
Yep.
I would not want to be LA Knight going into that match. This feels like a coronation to me, right?
Yes. He's gonna get killed.
is there a bigger lock on this card right now than Jacob Fatu winning that match? If you're betting your own money on any match that we know is happening at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, I'm betting on Charlotte beating Tiffany. Right now?
Oh, I'm not.
Charlotte is, oh my god. That's awful. That whole thing is just awful.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Later.
I thought Jacob and Braun had a great match. I thought it was fun. I thought it was fun last man standing match.
Yep. I agree.
It did lead to our discussion. I am just throwing this idea out there. Hunter, if you get this, you can take this. This is free. You can have it. You don't even need to pay me for it. I want a triple threat last man standing match. 3 people.
Oh yeah.
Somebody has to put down 2 people to win the match. I think there's super interesting stories to tell in a match like that, and I want to see it happen. But that being said,
and that's never happened before, right?
As far as I know, there has never been a triple threat last man standing match. But cool. I am here for it. 100%. So.
Yep.
But I don't know what else to say about Jacob and LA Knight at this point. I just. And it won't be a squash. They'll give LA Knight a moment, but I just can't imagine a world in which he does not win that match.
Oh, I 100% can.
You can imagine LA Knight beating Jacob Fatu.
No. I can imagine LA Knight retaining the championship. By disqualification. Because Solo Sikoa is getting involved in that match. And I think he's gonna attack Jacob Fatu. Or Jacob's gonna attack.
Do you think he does something to get Jacob disqualified?
I think he attacks LA Knight, gets Jacob disqualified, and then Jacob attacks him. Because he's gonna do it with or without them.
Alright.
And then Jacob wins it at Backlash. Or Jacob fights Solo at Backlash. One or the other. Something.
Alright. The favor. We now know what the favor. Oh, you're not happy about this?
No.
Why?
Because that's a dumb favor.
What is the favor? You gotta say it out loud.
Paul is gonna be in Punk's corner.
Yep.
At WrestleMania.
Yep.
That's a dumb favor. It should have been a who's first in line for Jey Uso's World Heavyweight Championship. Because it is his. Gunt is not winning that match.
I think you're right about that. I think they're gonna put it on Jay.
I would put my money on Gunt to lose. Gunt.
I like the dynamic of having Paul in Punk's corner though. And I think it could be interesting over the next couple of weeks, right? To have Roman be like, no, I know you got to stand over there, but, and have Paul be like, no, you are my tribal chief, but for that night, I am with him. We will deal with whatever happens afterwards, but on that night, I am with him. And Roman be like, right, yeah, no, sure, I got you. and just Paul be like, right? I just have a couple weeks of that of Roman being like, no, I know.
We don't have a couple weeks. We have 2 weeks.
We have 2 weeks. That's a couple.
Yeah,
2 is a couple. We have 2 weeks, and then, but I think we kind of agree on this. What is the inevitable outcome of Paul being in Punk's corner?
Paul helps Punk win, and then Paul joins Punk's side.
No. No, Paul's walking out with Seth and the belt.
Oh my god. What belt?
Or not the belt, the win.
The win.
Paul's walking out with Seth and the win.
Seth is winning that match, by the way.
And I think it's because of Paul.
If that match had been for something, like if that match had been a number one contendership for the World Heavyweight Championship after Mania at Backlash, Punk wins it. But since it's for nothing, Seth wins. And Roman's just not gonna win. Roman's not gonna eat the pin though.
I don't know whether
Roman doesn't eat pins. That's not how it works.
I don't know whether it is that Paul actually ends up joining up with Seth and helping him on purpose, or if he gets caught up in the drama. Paul gets in the middle of the Roman Punk drama, and Seth capitalizes on it. But ultimately, something Paul does leads to Seth winning that match.
Yeah, like Paul gets in between Roman and Punk, and then when they're like screaming at each other, and then Seth like jumps off the top rope and super stomps Punk, and then but Roman doesn't realize because he's arguing with Paul, and Roman's got his back turned or something. I don't know at this point. Like I don't know, but somehow we get to Roman has his back turned. Seth super stomps Punk, then stomps Roman, and then wins and pins them both.
See,
does the Roman stack them and wins?
Seth stacks them?
Seth stacks them and wins.
No.
Roman is not eating a pin.
Right. I know. I like where you were going. I thought you were going this way. This would be fun, right? Whatever the interaction is between Punk and Paul and Roman, and then it ends up with Roman and Paul arguing on the floor. Seth does something, super stomps Punk, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
Goes for the pin. Roman realizes it, and as he goes to jump back in the ring, Paul grabs his leg and stops him from breaking up the pin. I mean, that's something. That's something.
And now Roman is a chief with no tribe, officially.
Yeah, he's an island at that point, right? He's totally on his own.
He is the island with nobody on the island.
Yeah.
And now we have a WWE cover with Paul Heyman in Roman's corner, and he's not on his side anymore.
Yeah.
Don't you just love it when the WWE 2K covers age like fine wine? Like when they made John Cena the 2K23 cover and he didn't show up all year. Okay.
So here in the middle of our notes here. You have what is happening with the tag titles next. All of them.
Yeah, all of them. Just all of them. Nothing is happening with the Raw.
Who are the Raw Tag Champions?
The War Raiders.
The War Raiders. They're facing the New Day.
Oh, right.
That's happening. For sure, that's happening.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Last night we had Ciampa and Gargano.
So we're just gonna do two straight up 2-on-2 matches? And then what's happening with the women's titles? Are we also gonna just do a straight up 2-on-2 match? Are we doing straight up 2-on-2
not
matches
sure.
for all the tag titles?
I'm not sure that we're not getting at WrestleMania the match I asked for last week. Also, maybe breaking news to you. Last night, house show event on the circuit in Florida. Guess who wrestled?
Who?
Julia. Julia's back. Stephanie and Julia challenge Liv and Raquel at WrestleMania for the tag titles. There's only one women's tag title. There's no NXT women's tag titles. There's just one.
Yeah, there is. Is there not? There definitely used to be.
No, yeah, they merged them.
What did they merge them into?
Just the women, it's just the women's tag titles now. They go between all three brands.
Oh, they just put the NXT Women's Tag Titles with the.
Yep.
Okay, so that means you can even throw NXT tags teams in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they've had it like.
What are some NXT Women's Tag teams? Metaphor. Who are not facing Liv and Raquel at
No.
WrestleMania. That's not happening.
I mean, that's why I don't know. The Secret Hervis is probably still the favorite to be who Liv and Raquel are gonna end up fighting for the tag titles, but and I would love nothing more for them to actually win and have those belts. But I mean, if you give me the chance to have Julia and Stephanie on the WrestleMania card going for those titles, I'm all in on it.
But how does Stephanie lose the outright stand and delivers before WrestleMania?
She doesn't have to. She can still be NXT champion. She gave up the North American title.
Oh, boo! Make her triple champ.
Yeah, but I mean that's already done, right? They're doing the ladder match, stand and deliver for the
stand and deliver for the women's North American champion for the vacant North American Women's Championship. What's new? Like it's the same thing. It's the same.
Yeah,
thing.
I don't like them doing that. I don't like that. Like
it's the same thing as last
they
time.
had a chance to take the title off of her in her first defense. They built the story perfectly for her to do it.
But they just wanted her to win. They just wanted her to defend it once.
Yeah, I know, but if you're just going to turn it, that's fine. I get but don't do it the next week. Don't have her defend it once, and then the next week be like, actually, you can't be a double champ. You have to give up one of them. Right?
Oh, I thought she just chose to give it up.
No,
they made her.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, I don't know why you would choose to, but.
Well, you do it because it's hard being the NXT Women's Champion. It's hard being the NXT North American Champion. It's impossible to do both at the same time.
Well, it's not, because she did it.
Well, she did it one night.
Yeah.
To do it night in and night out is different, right?
Yeah.
It's different. So I get you could build that story, but I mean, it's just one of those things where it's just like it doesn't make sense to have her defend it once and then take it off of her. Either let her have a run or don't. But yeah, it is what it is. So we have let's pivot for a minute. Let's get off. We have football, NFL football. Not a whole lot going on. Not a lot happening. Julio Jones officially retired.
Yeah.
The Bears have signed Case Keenum.
Right.
As to be Kayla's backup, which I guess relegates Tyler Badgett to third string.
Yeah.
I would have to assume that's the case. But I'll be honest, I think Case Keenum being signed by the Bears is a huge win for Caleb. I think it's a great presence to have around.
Yeah, he can learn from him.
So I'm psyched about that.
Even though Caleb's obviously the starter.
Yes. Other than that, I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot that's been going on. Interestingly, rule changes. Touchbacks will now go to the 35 instead of the 30. They didn't quite get as many returns as they wanted, so they're trying to further penalize touchbacks. So it goes out to 35. And both teams get the ball, even if a touchdown is scored on the first possession next year in overtime.
So they just implemented playoff rules into.
Yes, but they kept it at 10 minutes.
Okay.
So in theory, one team could hold the ball for 10 minutes, kick a field goal, and win. that still could happen. But we'll see. But more importantly, they did not have the votes, and so they tabled it, did not vote on banning the tush push or the brotherly shove. Where do you stand on that issue?
I mean, just draft a quarterback that can bench 600 pounds.
So here's my question. Here's my issue. It's illegal for, like, your D-backs to come up behind your defensive lineman and shove them into the wall.
But it's not.
But why? So why is it legal to do the same thing on the offensive side of the ball? Why is it illegal on the defensive side of the ball? What is there anything else? Is there any other thing that it is illegal for the defense to do but legal for the offense to do?
I don't think so.
That's the problem for me. I think it has to be uniform.
But there's also things that the defense is allowed to do that the offense isn't.
Like what?
Like multiple people moving around at the same time when the ball is snapped. There's that's the only one I can think of right now. But that.
Okay.
And it's not a whatever you call it. What do they call that?
When the offense moves?
Yeah, when
False start?
Oh, right.
Fair enough. The defense does not have to be set. That is correct. So I guess that is technical. So there's one thing, but this is different. This is directly impacting a play.
They shouldn't be able to push him. They should be able to do the crazy quarterback sneak. Like, they should be able to, like, rile, like, a bunch of people in front of him. Like, they should be able to put their running back and their fullback, like, in front of him and have the quarterback, like, here.
Yes. So
like, running back, fullback, quarterback, and then basically just everybody pushing.
If you have your offensive line and you have your running back and your fullback behind them, and even your tight end pushing the offensive line, and the quarterback's just behind with the ball, but no one is pushing him, I'm okay with that. Because no one's pushing the ball handler.
Right.
Right? But when we're this compact, right, so everyone is upright. Right? So all you have to do is keep the movement. It's impossible to tackle the quarterback in that quarterback sneak scenario, right? Because everyone is just here.
Right. Everybody. It's
so
a
it's
rugby
just
play.
it's just forward momentum.
It's a rugby play.
And if we can get behind the guy with the ball and just keep pushing him forward, but the defense can't do the same thing. That seems unfair to me.
But eventually they're just going to start handing it off to their fullback and pushing their fullback forward then. It's the same thing, or even just going wildcat and pushing Saquon forward.
Yeah.
Saquon can also bench 600-some pounds.
Yeah, I guess it's just one of those things, and it is certainly it is sour grapes, right? Like, Philly figured this thing out and they're better at it than everybody else. No one can stop them. And no one can run it as effectively as they can.
Well, nobody has a quarterback that can squat 600 pounds. That's the thing. It's just Jalen Hurts has a really strong lower body.
Okay, but the fact is he's got two people behind him shoving him forward.
So why can't other teams also do it?
I know. I don't know.
Other teams have tried it and it doesn't work.
Yeah, I know, but
the 600-pound squat helps.
The tush push is working in way more places than Philadelphia. It's just that Philadelphia started, so they get the most play out of it, and they're better at it than everyone else. But other teams are doing it, and they are being effective with it.
Not as effective though. Still no Aaron Rodgers signing.
Which
I'm not sure where there even is left to go for him.
I still
Pittsburgh?
think he's going to end up in Pittsburgh. Unless at this point he's just going to sit out and wait until someone's quarterback gets hurt and then just come in and try to, like, if people just aren't offering him the money he wants, he's just going to try to hold somebody hostage. He's going to wait till somebody gets hurt and try to hold them hostage.
And then he's gonna tear his Achilles after 4 plays again.
We have a little bit of MLS. Fire did not win last week in their return to Soldier Field, but they did draw.
Yeah.
Currently sit at 4th. Had a couple of games today. Charlotte came back down 1-0 in the 85th minute. Came back and won 2-1. Scoring in the 85th and 90th minute. When last I checked, I don't know what the score is now, but when last I checked, LA Galaxy is losing again to Salt Lake. They are 2 draws, 5 losses on the season. That is their record. No wins. So I don't know where they are.
They're awful. They're
Currently.
last. They're last.
Um,
In the entire league, they are last. After Montreal tied with us, they are last.
but I think
But Montreal has a game in hand, so.
from a more wide perspective of looking at the MLS, Messi and then Miami, between last week and next Sunday when they are here in Chicago to face the Fire, they will play 5 games in 15 days. One, are you okay with that?
No.
That seems like too much, right? But I mean,
It's like a game every 3 days.
yeah, they have the Champions League games that they have, and by the way, they're down. They lost to LA.
Galaxy?
I think LAFC.
I think it's LAFC.
On Wednesday night, so they're going into the second leg this Wednesday down 1-0. So, but and LA just has to, if Miami wins 1-0, it's draw. If it's 1-1, LA wins because MLS is still using the away goals tiebreaker.
Okay.
So that's interesting, but I imagine. I'll be curious to see what happens tonight. I don't think Messi starts tonight, so that he can play on Wednesday.
Yeah. I think if they lose at LAFC, he doesn't play. I think he plays one of the 4, and then he plays against the Fire.
So
I do think he'll play against the Fire simply because we are in 4th place.
he came off the bench last Saturday. He scored. He came off the bench. He started on the Champions League game on Wednesday. My guess is he'll come off the bench again tonight. He'll start on Wednesday. And then we'll see what happens on Sunday afternoon. I mean, it is Wednesday to Sunday, so he does get 1 extra day. I think there will be pressure on him for sure. If he's not hurt, there will be pressure on him to play, considering that he has missed the 2 games in Chicago the last 2 years. He's missed both of those games. I think there will be pressure put on him to play in that game.
Yeah. We must be graced with the presence of Leo Messi.
Well, I mean, I want to see it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So, I think that, is there one last topic you want to hit here?
Yes.
What is that?
Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. Going back to WWE.
What a messy drama this is becoming.
This is teenage girls drama.
It is.
Unfolding with 2 grown adult. I mean, Tiffany's 25, but not saying that's not a grown adult.
I will say that watching last night, I do not think Charlotte was prepared for the level of heat that she got from the Chicago crowd. I think she, I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, she got Dom heat, and like it was impossible for her to talk, and I don't think she knew how to handle it.
She almost got Logan Paul heat. Like, it was really bad.
It except I don't know. I think Logan Paul's still go away heat and Dallas respect heat.
Well, right. Yeah.
And I don't know what Charlotte. I don't know what that was last night.
Charlotte heat was just, we don't want to hear you talk, and this is terrible.
I think it was I honestly I think it was. I think people really like Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, I think also we like her, not you.
All of the
Go
talk
away.
was that Charlotte is dominating this build.
Well, she is.
And so we're going to help Tiffany by making it impossible for you to do what you're trying to do.
Charlotte made it impossible for Tiffany to talk last week.
Right.
So he made it impossible for her to talk this week.
But more importantly is, by all accounts, it seems that they definitely went off script and got very personal. Including Tiffany calling out Charlotte for being divorced 3 times now.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Resulting in and if you go back and look at it, like, she says it and then she jumps out of the ring. Like, as soon as she makes that comment, she bails. And I think she was very concerned that she was about to get punched in the face for real. And then Charlotte makes her comment about Luca Kaiser, both of which
were not on the script
and have been deleted from the videos that SmackDown or that WWE has posted online. Initially, after the show, they were there, and then all of their initial posts have been deleted, and new versions have been put up with those comments deleted.
Not there.
Now, the question is, am I getting work, bro?
What do you mean? Are you getting worked, bro?
Is this not actually personal between them? Is this all actually scripted and WWE is just working this whole thing? And they're the ones leaking that they went off script. We're going to put the videos out, then we're going to delete the videos and put edited videos to take these comments out to try to make this match feel like it's actually personal, so that when you go to watch it at WrestleMania, you're like, are they actually going to fight? Is it real?
Yeah.
Is what we're seeing...
I don't think they were supposed to say that.
Is what we appear to be seeing actually happening, or am I getting worked, bro?
No, I think it's what we were. I definitely could be wrong, but I think that was not part of the script. Like, I think, well, for one, Tiffany's 25. She hasn't really done much promo stuff. Like, she's done promo stuff, but like not like a major feud, really.
I know, that's why it seems less likely to me that she would go off script in that way and go after Charlotte Flair in such a personal way, right? I mean, I don't know. It's just,
yeah. But Charlotte should not have stooped down to. You know what? No, I take it back. It was scripted. Charlotte wouldn't have stooped. Charlotte's professional enough to not have stooped down to her level there. I don't think, if that wasn't actually scripted, Charlotte would not have made the Kaiser comment. Because Charlotte is... I think Charlotte's professional enough to not do that.
You say that, and yet I'm going to call back to several moments in Charlotte's career. The belt exchange between her and Becky, which is one of probably the 3 most awkward segments I've ever seen on television, and Charlotte definitely caused that. That was not supposed to go that way. Nia Jax and Charlotte got into an actual fight in the middle of a match. Right? These, like, I can think of...
That's why I say professional enough, because she's not super professional sometimes.
But I can think of, if last night it was off script, that means I can think of 3 moments off the top of my head in which Charlotte was involved in a segment that completely went off script, and I could probably think of one or two more if I sat here long enough.
And that's a 14-time.
But they're all with different people, though. But they're all with different people.
Yeah, they are.
Why does she seem to be the common denominator in all of this? Like when I think,
because all those things were meant to happen.
When
and we're meant to think she's.
when
awful.
I think of places in the last, several years where I know something went off script. The only other one I can genuinely think of that I know for sure was when Braun Strowman hit Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar in a match, like actually hit him, and Brock got mad and just like,
oh yeah, and started like elbowing him over and over and over
for
again.
sure,
Yeah,
like that happened. And I can't think of any other real example of that where I'm sure.
Not really off script, but like Nia for real hitting Becky.
But that was an accident.
Right.
She was supposed to throw that punch. That punch was scripted.
But she just actually
missed
hit it.
Yeah.
Didn't miss it.
I mean, my hole might not have been might have been off script.
I'm not sure that was. I'm not sure she meant for the camera to pick that up though.
Yeah.
I think that was meant for the first row as a joke.
So, I am now because of this, because of the awkward and the weird way this is going. I am actually now convinced that Tiffany's going to win that match.
Okay.
I think they're going to, for lack of a better term, punish Charlotte for this and how awkward this build has been.
By giving it to Tiffany?
By letting Tiffany keep the belt and letting her have the win over Charlotte. And say, look, Charlotte, you're going to get there. You've got 14. You'll get your 16. It's going to happen. Don't worry. But we're going to make you work for it a little more.
Mark Henry put out a tweet the other day that said that they should put Rhea, Charlotte, and Tiffany in a match in a winner takes all and give it to Charlotte to get her to 16 faster. The question is, what was he on?
I don't know. None of that makes any sense.
Why would he boast of that? That's an awful idea.
Yeah. I mean, he must have just seen the image of Rhea holding the belt the other night. So, all right, let's wrap it up.
Okay.
Take us out.
Well, like I always say, Kevin is right, but will Kevin be all right?